There's a curious element flowing amongst many people who fall into the categories of nationalists, patriots, and racists, which is unsubstantiated pride. I consider pride to be a feeling of gratification and satisfaction one takes in a personal accomplishment or in his or her contribution to a collaborative success. It makes sense for you to be proud of yourself for kicking an addiction, winning an award, or even just sticking to a new regimen of activity that's challenging for you but which you know is in your best interest. It makes sense to be proud of the relationship you have with a loved one, be it a familial or romantic interest, because relationships with strength and longevity require effort. It makes sense to be proud of the accomplishments of other people if you were a devoted parent, teacher, coach, mentor, or served in some way toward the development of that person. I encourage people to take pride in successes they contribute to. However, I don't understand the concept of people taking pride in something they had absolutely nothing to do with. Glaring examples include people claiming to be proud to be born in their native country or to be proud to have the skin color they do. People don't have anything to do with where they're from, what ethnic group they're born into, and so forth, so it doesn't make much sense for them to take pride in those things. You can be happy and or grateful for being born into a favorable circumstance that you happen to appreciate, but that's different. I'm happy I was born in America, just like I'd be happy if I found a $100 bill outside my door. I wouldn't be proud of myself for being the beneficiary of good fortune, though. If I set up a lemonade stand now, which I managed successfully enough to make a $100 profit margin in one day, that's a $100 sum of money I'd take pride in. Some will justify pride in their ethnic group by pointing out the accomplishments of others within that ethnic group and attempting to vicariously leech pride from those people because they happen to have similar ancestry or even just similar skin tone. I'm sorry, white people, but the fact that Babe Ruth, Thomas Edison, and Albert Einstein have similar pigment levels in their skin to that of yours doesn't mean you have any reason to take pride in their accomplishments. Sorry, Latinos. Jennifer Lopez has a great, well-rounded singing career. Cesar Chavez was courageous, and Diego Rivera was a stunning artist, but that doesn't mean you did anything to share in their glory. I also hate to break it to you, black people, but Michael Jordan, Martin Luther King, and Oprah Winfrey being legendary successes doesn't make their success your own just because they are also black. Hopefully you get the point, regardless of what demographic you may be. Piggybacking your pride from the successes of others who happen to belong to your demographic is pitiful. If you want to feel genuine pride, set some goals of your own and accomplish those. I'm also a staunch advocate for homosexuals to have equal rights to heterosexuals. However, I'm not fond of the term gay pride. I understand that some homosexuals are proud of how far they've come in their personal lives in terms of being open about who they are and not being ashamed of being themselves despite pressure from much of society around them. However, that's more like being proud of yourself for your maturity and courage than it is being proud of yourself just for being gay. It's entirely feasible to not be ashamed of something without taking direct pride in it. Being proud of yourself just for being a homosexual makes about as much sense to me as being proud of yourself just for being a heterosexual. So my suggestion to everyone is to only take pride in the things that you actually had something to do with yourself. Don't pat yourself on the back for belonging to some group of people that contains people you admire. By that logic, you'd also have to feel shame for the screw-ups that happen to have something in common with you, and that doesn't make any sense either. So, don't get complacent. Reserve your pride for the things that you deserve to be proud of. If it turns out that being a member of some arbitrary demographic is the only thing that you can possibly take pride in, get to work on fixing that.